Hello and welcome to The Point from Navitend. In this screencast we'll look at how to keep your PC or Mac up to date, which is an important security measure, as well as a way to keep your computer running smoothly. Let's get started. We'll start with the PC instructions. First, let's look at how to run Windows Update. Choose Start, All Programs, Windows Update. On the window that appears, you'll be able to see important and optional updates that are available for your computer. However, before we look at those, let's click this Check for Updates button to make sure we're seeing the latest and greatest information. This may take a few moments, but after Windows has finished checking for updates, you can click on that. Well, let's wait for it to finish. What you can do is you can click on this to see important, or click here to see optional. So let's look at the important first. And you can see that when we select an update, we see a description of it over here on the right. These are the important, and then you can see the optional here. You can see all these optional ones that are available are just packs that expand the language capabilities. I'm happy with just the English language pack, so let's go back to the important, and you can see that the only update that's available is Internet Explorer 9 for Windows 7. I'm not going to install that on my machine due to incompatibilities with some of the software I use. However, if you were to want to install some updates, this is what you would do. You would select, just click this check mark. You could go to some of the optional ones and also check those as well. And then click OK. It'll display here some information about the selected updates. So we have 18.1 megabytes in important updates and 92 megabytes in optional updates. And then you can click Install Updates. The updates would install, and typically you wouldn't have to restart your computer, but if it's a major update, you will. Next, let's look at updating Internet Explorer, Firefox, and Google Chrome under Windows. First, Internet Explorer. You have to browse to the Internet Explorer homepage, which we can find by doing a quick internet search. If you visit this website within Internet Explorer, the website will automatically detect which version of Windows you are using and recommend the correct download. You can see here that it's recommending the Windows 7 32-bit English version, which is what I need. So I'll click the download button. We're presented with the Internet Explorer download dialog, and we can just click the Save button to save the installer to our computer, and I'm going to save it on my desktop. The installer will download, and once it's finished, to update Windows, you would simply double-click the installer. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to update Internet Explorer on my machine at this time. Keep in mind that unlike Internet Explorer, the next two browsers, Firefox and Chrome, keep themselves up to date automatically by default. However, sometimes that setting can get disabled, and you can perform a manual upgrade by following these instructions. For Chrome, first open the browser, then click the wrench button next to the address bar. Choose About Google Chrome. You can see that down here at the bottom it's checking for updates, and it determined that it was up to date. If you look at the two version numbers, they're the same. Click OK. For Firefox, first open the browser. In Firefox 4, they kind of changed the layout of the browser from previous versions, and they added this Firefox menu here. In older versions, you would have had to just click Help, About, and it would have checked for updates, but now you click Firefox and then Help and then About Firefox. You can see that it's checking for updates and almost instantaneously determine that Firefox is up to date. So now we can close that out. You can typically update other software that I have not described here by following these three general tips. 1. The location varies, but you will typically find a Check for Updates button in one of the application's menus. 2. Some software, such as the aforementioned web browsers, check for updates periodically on their own and will inform you when an update is available. And 3. You can manually check if you're running the latest version of a software by comparing the application's version to the latest edition's version number. You can typically find the program's version number in its Help About menu. The latest edition's version number can be found on the software's website. Let's look, for example, at Notepad++, an excellent text editor I use for various tasks. I've never performed a manual upgrade before this screencast, but let's see if we can figure it out. First, I'll open the software. I'm presented with just a typical application window with menus along the top, and I'm going to assume that first I'm going to check to see if there's an update in the Help menus. We have contents, homepage, documentation, forum, and here's a button, Update Notepad++. Have to enter my administrator credentials. And it says that an update package is available. Would I like to download it? Yes. You can see that the download has finished, and it asks me if I want to close Notepad in order to finish the installation. Yes. And I think it's just asking me if I want to save my changes. No. And then we follow the installer instructions. I'm just going to cancel this out for now. You can see that finding out how to update an application is usually a pretty simple task. With that, we reach the conclusion of the PC segment of this screencast. You can find the Mac portion on our website blog or also on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/navitend. With that, we reach the conclusion of this screencast. You can watch previous issues of The Point or subscribe to receive it via email on our website, navitend.com. The link is below. Have a great week.